make a payoff table for the problem. How will this payoff table look like, ladies and gentlemen? You can see number of crates sold here from our historical records. There are days we sold 100, there are days we sold 500. So then my payoff table, I'll have to copy from this. We have our payoff table, general structure. The general structure of a payoff table looks like this. The general structure of a payoff table. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we will have in our payoff table, we'll have our alternatives. We'll have our alternatives. We'll have our alternatives. We'll have our alternatives in our payoff table. We shall start right away with what here? With alternatives. So in this kind of a question, ladies and gentlemen, our alternatives will be our supply. Because supply is what we are in control of. So you're deciding between those quantities given there, how many units should we supply? How many crates of this milk here should we supply? So ladies and gentlemen, we can either supply here 100, 200, 300, 400, up to 500, like that. And then now remember that, ladies and gentlemen, here we have what we call states of nature. So states of nature will be what we are not able to control. States of nature will be what we are not able to control. So our states of nature, ladies and gentlemen, will be what here? Will be demand. States of nature here will be demand. Now listen, ladies and gentlemen, then how do we get to really know the demand amount? So unless you're told otherwise, remember what you are told in economics is that supply and demand should always be what? Should always be equal. Remember what we are told in economics, demand and supply should always be equal. Demand and supply should always be equal. So the same demand figures that you have here are the same, or rather the same supply figures that you have here will be the same demand figures we should put there. So in that case here, we are going to put here 100, 200, 300, 400, and then we have 500 like that. So then, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do is to have our cells. Where did I get this 100, 200, 300, 400, all the way up to 500? Where I got them from, ladies and gentlemen, is here. This is where I got them from. In this particular question that you happen to be having on your WhatsApp, they have told us number of crates sold. You can see from 100 to 500, right? So these are the ones that I've worked around to be able to get the supply and to be able to get the demand. So ladies and gentlemen, we can now read here. We are told Farm Products Limited produces and sells fresh milk. The milk has to be sold within 1 day. Otherwise, it will get spoiled. FPL packages the milk for distribution in crates, each carrying 20 packets of milk. Each crate of fresh milk costs 300 to produce, and it sells for 450, quite a good profit margin, 150 shillings per crate profit. Any milk not sold at the end of the day is given out free of charge to the workers. This is quite a bad policy. If you go, for example, to Brookside, whatever is spoiled can never be given to workers. If you introduce this kind of a policy, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, your workers will not have that desire to be selling. So even if it gets spoiled, give it to third parties, but not your workers. Have other ways of incentivizing your workers, but don't give them this milk. If demand exceeds supply, we are told a special production of fresh milk is made at a cost of 400 per crate, at a cost of 400 per crate. However, selling price still remains what here? Unchanged. FPL sells the milk in multiples of 100 crates. We are told the table below shows the distribution of sales of crates of milk over the last 80 days. So they want us to give them a payoff table for this problem. So ladies and gentlemen, where do we begin from? Look at my first cell. Look at my first cell. First cell, ladies and gentlemen, here, what are the outcomes here? In the first cell, we have set aside, we have produced 100 crates of milk. That's what we have taken to the market. And then how many of them have been demanded? The demand is 100. That is what we call perfect match. So for perfect match, we shall end up selling 100 crates. If we sell 100 crates, ladies and gentlemen, remember that our profit is revenue minus cost. Our profit is revenue. Our profit here is revenue minus cost. How do I get revenue? To get revenue, we normally take price times quantity. Price times quantity. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we shall be selling 100, right? And each crate we are selling it for 450. How about the cost? The cost again will be on the basis of 100, But now remember that each crate, if you haven't forgotten, each crate is costing us 300. Each crate is costing us 300. So could you kindly give me this profit, ladies and gentlemen? Kindly give me this profit. Kindly give me that profit, and I hope you are able to see my board. I hope you are able to see my board pretty well. Kindly give me that profit. So remember the first sale, ladies and gentlemen, we have produced 100. Don't forget that each crate goes for 450. Please open up your eyes very well. Open your eyes very well. These are sensitive area. So Kigunda, Njeri Mwangi, they're giving me a figure of 15. My values are in shillings thousands. So the first one is 15 bob. Ladies and gentlemen, I would want to remain mum for just a minute to see whether there is any student who will be able to give us a proper interpretation for the second cell. Let's see whether there is any student who will be able to give us a proper interpretation for the second cell here. For the second cell, a proper interpretation for the second. Please help me. Please help me. Please help me for the second cell. You can even unmute yourself, or even on just disturb your mind. You're always better off disturbing your mind. Never choose the comfort zone. Never choose to be idle there as you wait for Mwalimu to tire out for you. No. Disturb your mind. Make your mind busy. Even if you don't get it right, so what? Even if you don't get it right, so what? You can see the argument that Omar is trying to bring across, that here, ladies and gentlemen, we have supplied only 100, but the demand is 200. So according to Omar, we can never sell what we don't have. If the demand exceeds what we supply, then automatically we shall sell whatever we have, and then we disappoint some customers. That is Omar's thoughts. That's how Omar is thinking. Is there any other student who has some contrary opinion? You can see the idea that Njeri has brought here. Njeri tells us, ladies and gentlemen, that in this particular question, in this particular scenario, the examiner has made sure that we do not disappoint anybody. That every time we shall be able to meet whatever demand. If demand is more, we shall be able to produce this excess, which has been demanded there that we do not have, at a higher cost. And we are told here, the milk has to be sold within 1 day. Otherwise, it will get spoiled. FPL packages the milk for distribution in crates, each carrying 20 packets of milk. Each crate of fresh milk costs 300 to produce normally, and will sell for 450. Any milk not sold at the end of the day is given out free of charge to the workers. If demand exceeds supply, there is a special production of fresh milk, at a cost of 400. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, Omar. But please get this concept here, Omar, that in our case here, we shall never be disappointing anybody. Fine, here demand was higher. Demand was higher than what we had supplied, only 100. But in this case here, what this will mean is that we shall go back to the kitchen and make some fresh order to take care of this excess demand, however, at a little bit what here, expensive price. So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, my revenue here will be based on 200 times 450. And then minus, look at the cost. The cost, we have the first batch of 100, the first batch of 100. This first batch of 100, the one that we had prepared ourselves with, this one we produced it at the lower cost. At the lower cost of what here? At the lower cost of 300. 300. Remember, I've put in brackets, I'm trying to get the total cost. Plus, we have got an excess of 100 that we had to move in to produce hurriedly, to be able to meet some shortage, to be able to take care of the excess demand. These are 100 that we have to fall back, ladies and gentlemen, and produce for us to be able to meet this extra demand. That 100 will cost us a little bit more. That 100 will cost us a little bit more. So this 100 will be 100 at what here, somebody? At 400. 100 at 400. Remember what they have told us here. I would want us to be very clear with this. I would want us to be very clear with this. Ladies and gentlemen, what they have told us here is that each crate of fresh milk will cost 300 to produce, and they sell for 450. Any milk not sold at the end of the day is given out free of charge to the workers. If demand exceeds supply, a special production of fresh milk is made at a cost of 400. A special production of fresh milk is made at a cost of 400 per crate. So then could you kindly give me an answer for this? Kindly, for the second cell, give me an answer for this. Give me an answer for that. For the second cell, please give me an answer. So Kigunda Muniu is giving me an answer of 20 shillings. How about the other students? How about the other students? How about the other students? They're giving me an answer of 20,000. Thank you very much, Dennis. So we have here 20, my values are in shillings thousands. So then we have cell number 3, cell number 4, cell number 5. We have cell 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So could we kindly go to cell number 3? Cell number 3, can somebody talk to me about cell number 3? Cell number 3, what is happening here for cell number 3? So for cell number 3, I can see vividly what is happening. Myself, I can see vividly what is happening in cell number 3. Cell number 3, the supply is 100, but the demand is more. The demand is more. The demand we expect, ladies and gentlemen, or rather we expect a demand of 300, yes. Then in that case, I can see ourselves running back to the kitchen to make some order, in this case here at a higher speed, because we don't want to disappoint anybody. We don't want to disappoint anybody. So in that case, can somebody talk to me? Please try writing for me. What will be my sales? Remember, sales is price times quantity. I should take what here for the sales? Somebody write for me there for the sales. For the sales revenue, I should take what times what, somebody, for number 3. And I would want to see everybody really discussing here. There are things, if I happen to know, I can never go wrong in advanced management accounting. There are things, if I happen to know, I can never go wrong in advanced management accounting. Please talk to me. Number 3, what do we have there? Number 3, what do we have there? So in this case here, they're telling me to come and take 300 units here, because you have to sell to everyone, times 450, but the cost now, the costs are going to be 2. We have the normal cost. We have the normal cost of the order we had supplied earlier on of 100. And remember, the normal cost is going for 300. It's going for 300. Plus, we've got this other excess. You can see in total, we want to sell 200. So the 200 has to be at a higher cost, which is 400. And I can see somebody telling me that, Mwalimu, your answer will be 25. Your answer will be 25. Thank you very much. I can see students now who are really following. Yes, thank you very much. So could we kindly go to the next one? So next one, I expect you guys to give me answers because already you've gotten the gist of this. Please give me an answer for number 4 and number 5. Give me an answer for number 4 and number 5. Number 4 and number 5. Tell me what we have. And this will tell you, these exams of yours will always zero in where? In CVP analysis, right? In decision making. And even CVP, when I look at your paper very well, I'm able to see the concept of what here? This multiple product chart. Break-even point for 3 products, for 3 products, for 3 products, for 3 products, something that I've really repeated here. What do we have there? Somebody number 4, please talk to me. Number 4, Kigunda tells me 30. Number 4, Kigunda tells me 30. Number 4, Kigunda tells me 30. Mwende, I've never had you speaking to me. Mwende must be hating this mwalimu. Mwende, I want to hear from you. Cell number 5. Cell, please forget about the K. Forget about the K. Forget about the K. Forget about the K. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go to cell now. Let's go to cell number 6. Cell number 6. Innocent. Innocent, I've also honestly never heard from you. Please try. I'm here to help you. I'm a good vessel, will tell me at the end of the day. Just give me a figure, even if you have it wrong. So long as you tried participating, trust you me, you'll understand the concept better than somebody, in this case, you decided to take a laid-back approach. Laid-back approach, you're waiting, we do, and then you copy the answer, saying that you'll understand later. No, it's now or never. It's now or never. It's now or never. Mr. Omar, I hope you came back from prayers. Please try giving me an answer. Please try giving me an answer. For number 6. For number 6. Patricia, I know other days Patricia has been very active, but today Patricia, oh, she's saying she has network issues. Aha, Wamboi has thrown in something to the ring. Wamboi is telling us 30, but there is a gentleman here called Muniu who is very aggressive. He has also given us an answer. Muniu, no. Muniu has not given us an answer. Sorry, I think I saw my own things. Anthony Waweru is disagreeing with Wamboi 100%, saying that for cell number 6, it's a loss of 15. It's a loss of 15. Kigunda Muniu now has come up with the answer. It's a loss of 15. It's a loss of 15. It's a loss of 15. Is there any other person who has some suggested answer? Some suggested answer? Some suggested answer? Some suggested answer? Mwende, thank you very much. Mwende does not hate Mwalimu, but she has a figure of 15 positive. 15 positive. Jane Jebet. We have 2 Janes here. We are lucky to be having 2 Janes here. We have another one called Jenny and Jane Jebet. Right? So Lokai has dived into the pool quite fast and given us negative 15. Negative 15. Let's now argue it out together. Cell number 6, what do we have? For cell number 6, ladies and gentlemen, what I have here for cell number 6, for cell number 6, ladies and gentlemen, for cell number 6, and how many have been, I go to the market with 10 pieces, right? And then I get like 2 people wanting to buy. So if 2 people only buy, that is only 2 pieces, then ladies and gentlemen, what will happen is that I'm going to disappoint 8. This is what is going to happen. In this scenario here, we have taken to the market how many? We have taken to the market 200 units, but how many have been demanded? Only 100. So in this case here, we can only sell 100. When demand is low, you sell in this case here, lower, right? So I shall only sell 100. At what price? The price in this case, ladies and gentlemen, is 450. What happens, ladies and gentlemen, with these excess units here that were not bought? Excess packets of milk that were not bought, we are told that this company is exercising very good philanthropy at a higher level. They're giving their packets of milk which are unsold at the end of the day to the workers, So in this case, ladies and gentlemen, it's just like saying that these other 100 will be bought at how much here? Will be bought at 0. So that in total, we are accounting for what here? For 200. Minus the cost of, ladies and gentlemen, having supplied that, it will be the cost of supplying the entire 200. So remember here, there is nothing like going back to the kitchen, going back to our production room to produce hurriedly. Here we're only dealing with the 200 that we had supplied earlier on. At what amount here? At 300. At 300. Could you kindly confirm to me that negative 15 is the correct figure? Negative 15 is the correct figure. Please confirm to me that negative 15 is the correct figure. Negative 15 is the correct figure. Please confirm. Somebody confirm. Yes. Yes. So if you look at, for example, like the figures we got from Marion Wamboi, I'm so sure Wamboi must have taken 200. I'm so sure Wamboi must have done that mistake of taking 200 times 450. And yet, it is not. Yes. Thank you very much for us through. So please go to number 7. Cell number 7 is a perfect match. Cell number 7, there is nothing to think about. Because here in cell number 7, we supplied 200, and how many of them have been demanded? 200. We supplied 200, and 200 have been demanded. So for cell number 7, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I have. For cell number 7, this is what I have. For cell number 7, this cell number 7, we supplied 200. Demand is, so we shall sell 200 at 200 at 300. So somebody is giving me what figure here? Cell number 7. Cell number 7, somebody is giving me 30,000. Thank you very much. So please, I expect you now, whatever we'll be having on the board, please again, take a step of faith and say, hey, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not getting the same figure like you. Fearing anybody. This is not a service that you're giving to you for free. It's a service that you have paid for. Put us to task to explain. So you say 8 equals, 9 equals, 10 equals, and now speed is of essence. Jerry Mwangi wants me to do cell number 8. Jerry Mwangi wants me to do cell number 8. Look at cell number 8 in Jerry. Cell number 8. What is happening in cell number 8? Cell number 8, we have supplied how many our cells? 200. But to how many have been demanded down there? 300. So the demand is more. So we have to go, ladies and gentlemen, back in this case here to our production and produce some fresh order to cover the excess demand, So then that means, ladies and gentlemen, that for cell number 8, this is what is going to happen for cell number 8. So for cell number 8, ladies and gentlemen, I'll sell the higher. So 300 times 450 minus our cost of production now will be 2 of them. There is a normal cost of producing 200 at 300 plus 100, because now we have to push up 100 times this cost of, ladies and gentlemen, producing more is 400. Let's see whether it will come to 0, Jerry, or 25. Can somebody confirm? So long as you understand this concept of what happens when demand is more than what we supply. When demand outstrips what we are able to supply, then we must go back straight away to our kitchen, production room, and then we produce afresh, but at a higher price, So in this case here, cell number 8 is 35. I don't know whether now, Jerry, you have been able to follow, or at times we could be wrong. You could be right. Try in this case here to give us your argument. Try to give us your argument. We see. If you've understood, please tell us, I have understood. I have understood. And let us not force you, really. It's not about forcing you. It's about you understanding. So long as I'm able to know how I'm making my comparisons, like now here I'm comparing 200 and demand is more, 300. Demand is more, 300. Demand is more, 300. So please go to cell number 9, 10, and move now with speed. Move with speed. Move with speed now. Move with speed. Move with speed. So, ladies and gentlemen, the figures that I'm able to see here, the figure Lokai, Kigunda from, oh, I can't see from cell number 16. So cell number 16, they're telling me it is negative 75, right? 17 is 30, 18 is 15, 19 is 60, 19 is 60, 20, cell number 20, 65, that is Lokai now, 65, cell number 21, negative 105, negative 105, negative 105, cell number 22, negative 60, negative 15, negative 60, negative 15, cell 23, and then cell 24, 30, 75. So 30, I'm missing out from number 9. I'm missing out from number 9. I'm missing out from number 9. Cell 17 is negative 30. Yeah. Please confirm that cell 17 is, I'll agree with this person. I'll agree with Kigunda. Also, Lokai has given me cell 9 as 40. So this has to be 45. Because I know there is a pattern they form. Yes. Thank you. So please go to 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Go to 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. What do we have there? What we have here, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Am I the one who missed them at the... Must have missed some of them. No, I never missed them. They never gave them to me. So cell 11 is negative 45, negative 45. Cell 12, I'm being told is 0. Cell 13, I'm being told is 45, positive. Right, thank you very much. How about cell 14, 15? Are they 50 and 55? 14 is 50. Lastly, 15 should be 55. Thank you very much. Now, my greatest students, could you kindly ask a question here? Is there any cell you would want Mwalimu to calculate its payoff? Is there any cell you would want Mwalimu to calculate its payoff? No. So please, let's look at the question now here. So the next question wants us to determine the optimal number of crates of milk that the company should produce per day if they use maxi-maxi. Very common in your exam. If they use maxi-maxi. So if they were to use maxi-maxi, ladies and gentlemen, maxi-maxi, remember maxi-maxi means what? Maxi-maxi means best of the best. Maxi-maxi means maxi-maxi. This means best of the best. Best of the best. This means best of the best. Maximum of maximums. And what I'm supposed to do is to come and create a column here for best. So the very best profit here is always the highest. For this particular supply, the very highest profit is 35. For the second one, the very highest is 45. For the third one, the very highest is 55. I'm only picking the best for each scenario, for each supply, for each alternative. The very best is 65, and then now we have 75. All those are best scenarios, but remember, they want me to give them best of the what? Best of the best. They want me to give them best of the best. Right? So then amongst all these, which one is the best of the best? It is this 75. This is what we call best of who? This is what we call best of the best, like that. That's what they call best of who? Best of the best. And if that is the case, then we are advising these people to supply. So the optimal supply, optimal maxi-maxi supply, optimal maxi-maxi supply equals 500 crates. Equals 500 crates. Equals 500 crates. That is maxi-maxi. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we have the last one here. The last one here is the Max-Mini criterion. Max-Mini. So for Max-Mini criterion, what do we have? For Max-Mini criterion, what do we have here? For Max-Mini criterion, for Max-Mini. I know that Max-Mini is Maxi is best. What I'm supposed to come and do is to come and create a column here for worst. So we need to start with worst. So create a column here for worst. Create a column there for worst. Create a column there for worst. So for worst, we are going to each row, each alternative, selecting the worst profit will be the lowest profit. So the worst profit happening up is somebody, the worst profit here is 15, the very lowest. Normally we start with the second bit, the worst. So we have this one here, the very worst here is negative 15. The very worst here is negative 45. The very worst, ladies and gentlemen, is negative what here? 75. Then I'll come and optimize by looking at now this, the best amongst the worst. So the best amongst the worst, ladies and gentlemen, what do we have here? Best amongst the worst. These are all the worst scenarios for each alternative. So this is the best of the worst. This is the best of the worst. This is the best of the worst. So if it is the best of the worst, what does it correspond to here? It corresponds to 100 crates. So you're saying here that the optimal Max-Mini, the optimal Max-Mini alternative is to supply 100 crates. Are we together up to there, my friends? Are we together up to there? Yes. Thank you very much. Yes. Now, although they never asked us this, but what if they wanted us to give them the best? What if they wanted us to give them the best on the basis of EMV, expected monetary value? What would have we done? Expected monetary value, of course, we would have needed what here? Probabilities. Expected monetary value, we would have needed probabilities. From this question, is there anybody who can tell us what do you think should we do to be able to get expected probability, or rather to be able to get probability? What do you think should we do for us to be able to get probabilities, just in case we had an examiner who wanted us to get, expected monetary value? What do you think would have we done? Somebody talk to me. What do you think would have we done? What do you think would have we done? Of course, to get these probabilities, I would have used the frequencies. To get the probabilities, I would have used the frequencies 8, 20, 22, 8, 20, 32, 32, 12, and 8. So can somebody give me this total frequency? Please give me the total frequency. We normally use frequencies to get probabilities. Yes. Add the frequency of sales, divide each frequency by 80. So they're telling me that the total is 80. So then I'll come and talk of 8 over 80, 20 over 80, 32 over 80, 12 over 80, 8 over 80. So please give us figures here. Please give us figures there. Please give us figures. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So 8 over 80 gives us 0.1. This gives us 0.1. This gives us 0.25. 0.4. 0.15. Then lastly, 0.1. So now out of this, I should monetary value for them. I should be able to get expected monetary value for them. I have a very good book. My book I can rub. For your case, you can't do that. So come here, ladies and gentlemen, and give us expected monetary value. Expected monetary value. Come here and give us expected monetary value. So then what do you think are we going to do to be able to get expected monetary value for the first alternative? What shall we do to get the expected monetary value of the first alternative? And if you're careful, I'm not putting these probabilities and alternatives. We normally put probabilities along here. We normally put probabilities under states of nature, because states of nature are the ones you're not able to predict. We can state how many units we are going to supply immediately. I can say I'm going to supply 100. That one is within my control. These are alternate, but how many units will be demanded at the end of the day in the marketplace? So they haven't yet answered me. They haven't told me what do they think will I do to be able to get expected monetary value. What you tell me is that we multiply. Thank you very much, Nicholas. Thank you very much, Nicholas. Well, not 100, not 100. Then it's not 100. It is expected profits for cell number one. For cell number one, I'll take the profit here times the probability, plus, times this, plus, times that, plus, and then I'll be able to get expected monetary value. So I can see Omar giving me, thank you very much, Omar, for talking to me. It is 24.5. It is 24.5. It is 24.5. Lokai got the same. So what have they done? They took expectations. They took this profit share times the probabilities plus, and then they got that 24.5. How about the second one? How about the second one? How about the second expected profit, expected monetary value? Expected monetary value, the second one. What do we have here? Somebody, second one. So in this case here, Lokai Elim tells me 30.5. Lokai Elim tells me 30.5. 30.5. Please move on with that spirit. Go to the third scenario. Go to the third scenario. Third scenario, tell me what are we getting in the third scenario? The third scenario. The third scenario, what are they getting in the third scenario? So the third one, somebody is giving me a figure of 26.5. Lokai here is giving me a figure of 26.5. Yes. Mengich got 126. I don't know whether that one is an error. Yeah, I can see she has really changed her figure very first. So 26.5 is the correct position. Anthony Waweru, please give me 26.5. Yes, thank you very much for confirming that. We have the next one is 6.5. And then now we have the last one. We have the last one. We have the last one. The last one, ladies and gentlemen, the last one. Or this 6.5 was the last, was it the last one? Was 6.5 the last one? No, Lokai tells me that the last one is supposed to be negative 19.5. The last one is supposed to be negative 19.5. Is that the case? Is that the case? Is that the case? So, ladies and gentlemen, having really gotten these expected monetary values, remember when it comes to making a decision, ladies and gentlemen, we normally go for the highest expected monetary value. Money is sweet. The more you have, the better. The more you have, the better. So amongst all these expected monetary values, the one where I'm expecting the highest, the biggest. So this 30.5 is what I'll work with as the best EMV. So implying, ladies and gentlemen, that the best or optimal EMV alternative is to supply the one that corresponds to this is to supply 200 crits, Thank you. So there's a question that they brought to us some time back, and I can assure you, if there are any students who got this right in Kenya, they could not have been more than 10 in the entire country. Many students were not able to come up with a payoff table. You must have seen this kind of a question in your past paper. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are told here, question number 2. Maridadi Limited sells a wide range of high-quality fashion bracelets. The manufacturer requires orders in advance, and once a bracelet has been made, it's not possible to place a repeat order. Further, it's not possible for delivery to be spread over the fashion season. When a customer places orders for a bracelet from Maridadi Limited, fitting is done and any alterations or adjustments are made, and the bracelet is collected a day or so later. The pattern of the sales of a comparable bracelet shows the following probability distribution, quite important, and they have even gone ahead to give us probabilities, unlike the other examiner who was giving us frequencies. Additional information, if the company runs out of stock, then not only is the profit not earned, but a profit of shillings 35 per bracelet that is derived from other accessories that customers buy is also lost. Should the company overpurchase, then it is expected that it will be able to dispose of the surplus bracelets at shillings 80 each. 3, the purchase price and selling price per bracelet is 130 and 210 respectively. The mean carrying cost per bracelet is 8. Required, determine the number of bracelets that Maridadi Limited should order so as to maximize expected profit. 15 marks. 15 marks. I can't remember the year, Dennis, but it is there in your past papers. So I want to give you like 10 minutes. We see what really you can do in this kind of a question. So now, ladies and gentlemen, at least one thing here is so nice for us is that they have given us the bracelets, number of bracelets here. So I'm so sure each one of us at least here will be able to get something. So they have given us the number of bracelets, 1650. Okay. This is a very easy question, Nicholas. It made me happy. So we are told here, number of bracelets. We have the supply. This is supply. So supply, we have 1650. We have 1800. We have 1950. we have 2100. And then demand will always be the same. 1650, 1800, 1950, and then we have 2100. So I'm so sure that each one of us drew this, which is really a great step forward, a great step forward. A great step forward. Thank you. So I would want us now to get payoffs for cell number 1. Cell number 1. Cell number 1 is a perfect match. Actually, like cell number 1, number 6, number 11, number 16, those ones I can get them without sweating it out. Actually, that's what I do personally. When I start with this perfect square, 1650, 1650, I'll go to this, 1800, 1800, I'll go to this. So that we get, first of all, for the perfect matches. Okay, so cell number 1, demand, supply 1650 and demand is 1650. So I'm going to sell 1650. So 1650 is what I will sell. Do we have the selling price? Do we have the selling price? Do we have the selling price? What is the selling price per bracelet? 210. Minus, of course, we have supplied 1650. So this 1650, have they given me, ladies and gentlemen, this 1650, have they given me the cost of procuring this? Have they given me the cost of, yes, Lokai tells me 130. But remember, apart from procuring them, we have some 8 shillings, which is the cost of holding per bracelet. So we buy them, would want to hold them. So things like rent. So they've been able to absorb that into how much here per unit? 8 bob. That 8 was forgotten by so many students. They've given us down here that question. They've told us here. Here, they've told us, ladies and gentlemen, they've told us, should the company, no. The mean carrying cost. Carrying cost is the same as what here? Holding cost, for those of you who remember in inventory management. Yes. So that gives us how much here, somebody? That gives us how much here, somebody? No. Holding cost, remember, each item that you have, you must always do what here? You must always, ladies and gentlemen, holding cost, you must always subject it to holding cost. I know what can make somebody confuse this a little bit with something different is where we were doing the inventory simulation, if you remember that. But for payoff table, whichever unit you bring on board, at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, we must have it being held. Okay. So in this case, ladies and gentlemen, somebody is giving me a figure of 118.8. I want my figures to be in terms of what year? I want my figures to be in terms of thousands. So Mengich tells me 118.8. Thank you very much. Let us go first of all for the perfect matches. So perfect matches, let's go to number 6. Perfect matches. Perfect matches number 6, I can see it's 1800 vis-a-vis 1800. So here I'll have 1800 times 210 minus 1650 into 138. Can somebody give me these perfect matches? Number 6, what do we have there? Somebody, number 6, perfect matches. So that I can get them out of my way. I would want to keep them out of my way. I would want to keep them out of my way. The perfect matches, I would want to keep them out of my way. Ah, 1800, sorry. Thank you very much. 1800. It's a perfect match. First of all, we get the perfect match. Yeah, thanks, Lizzie. Liz, that is what, it was a mistake, but I've been able to change that. Thank you very much. So for number 6, what figure do we have perfect match? 129.6. I want my figures to be in shillings thousands. Pay of table in shillings thousands. So please go to number 11. Go to number 11. Somebody give me the one of number 11 very fast. Perfect matches first. Perfect matches. I would want to get rid of them. So we have number 11. So number 11 is a perfect match between 1950 and 1950. So I'll take 1950 here times, I've forgotten my price. I've forgotten my price. Was it 210? My price per bracelet was 210 minus 1950 times 138. I hope you are seeing where the 138 is coming from. So somebody is giving me 140.4. So then is there somebody who has an answer for cell 16? Perfect match. Cell 16. Perfect match. Cell 16. Cell 16 perfect match. Is there anybody who has an answer for that? 151.2. Thank you very much. So could we then kindly go to cell number 2? Cell number 2, what is happening in cell number 2? Cell number 2, what is happening in cell number 2? So for cell number 2, ladies and gentlemen, cell number 2, we supply 1650, but demand is 1800. So please help me make a decision there. We supply 1650, but demand is 1800. Please help me make some decision there. So then how many will we sell? How many will we disappoint? There's some customers here who will go home empty-handed. There's some customers here who will go home empty-handed. There's some customers who will go home empty-handed. I know them, I can see them. We sell what we have. I like what Lokai is telling us. We sell what we have. So we shall sell 1650 and disappoint how many? What is the difference? 1800 and 1650. Disappoint 150. Thank you very much. Disappoint 150. So remember that this time round, there is an opportunity cost of disappointing some customers. For each customer who comes to you, he needs it, and then you tell this person, we don't have it. You lose. There is an opportunity cost of 30 bob. For every customer you disappoint, for every customer who comes to buy these things from you and it happens that you don't have them, you're going to make a loss. A loss of what year? A loss of 30. Is it 30 or 35? There's a loss you're going to make for each customer who comes to buy a bracelet from you. It comes live like this. You're going to lose. There's an opportunity cost. We've been given this opportunity cost, ladies and gentlemen, in the question. They have told us that for every customer who comes, just like how Nakumat used to tell us, if you need it, we've got it. So we go there. You can see here, but a profit of 35 per bracelet that is derived from other accessories that customers buy is also lost. So for every customer we disappoint, you are right, we shall be losing 35. So then could you kindly then, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and give me the profit I expect here. So in short, I'm going to sell 1650. So 1650 that I sell, I know the selling price is 210, right? I know the cost of supplying this 1650. The cost of supplying 1650, it will be 1650 times 138. So please don't forget the disappointment figure. Don't forget the disappointment figure. Don't forget the disappointment figure. Okay, so we continue. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. What have we said here? That we are going to sell 1650 at 210 minus 1650 times 138, but don't forget to deduct the opportunity cost. Don't forget to deduct the opportunity cost of the customers who will run away without our staff. Now, those customers who run away without our staff. Without our staff. Don't forget. So somebody is giving me a figure of how much? Somebody is giving me a figure here, a figure of how much? 113.55. Now, ladies and gentlemen, could we kindly go to number 3? What about 80? Let me see the 80. The 80. No, I've known. The 80 Omar will not apply in this regard. The 80 applies when the demand is less. When you have got an oversupply. We are told number 2, should the company overpurchase, then it is expected that we will be able to dispose of the surplus bracelets at 80. Yani, ukiwa na samaki wale 10, wateja wamekuja wawili. So the excess fish that we are not able to sell is what you will be able to get another market, which will be able to accept to buy them at a very low price. Here, we are not having a situation where we have excess units. Actually, here we are running out of stock. We are running out of stock. That is why some customers are going, in these cases and gentlemen, without what? Here, some supplies. So cell number 3, what is happening? So for cell number 3, I would want to make this very clear. For cell number 3, we supply 1650. Right? But demand is 1950. Meaning that we shall disappoint how many? How many shall we disappoint? Customers we shall disappoint. I'm being told it's 300. And then of course we shall sell 1650. So then the profit here will be 1650 times the 210 minus 1650 we have supplied times the 138 minus the opportunity cost of the customers who will be disappointed, 300 times 35. So could you kindly give me something to write here? Number 3. So 108.3. So now I expect you to get for cell number 4. Using that same approach, give me for cell number 4. For cell number 4, Dennis is giving me 134. No, it should be reducing really. Just try again. Kigunda tells me 103. 103.05. 103.05. Just try again, Dennis. Thank you very much for giving me the first answer. Try again. If you're unable to get it, I'll show you how to get it. Because there we are going to sell just 1650. But we shall disappoint quite a number of customers there. So let us go to cell number 5. Let's go to cell number 5. So cell number 5 is quite a tricky one. Cell number 5, already Elokai has already gotten it. Lokai has gotten cell number 5. Cell number 5, I'm waiting for you to give me the profit of cell number 5. Please give me the profit of cell number 5. Talk to me. Cell number 5, what do we have? Cell number 5, what do we have? Cell number 5, what do we have? Kigunda says no. It's supposed to be 141.60. Those are the kind of arguments I like, the kind of democracy I like. Apart from Kigunda, Anthony, and Lokai, who have tried, do we have any other students who have gotten some different answers there? Would want to share with us? Number 5. So when you have an examiner, as our brother told us here, when you have an examiner who doesn't want to wish you success, they give you these kind of questions. Answers are coming in thick and fast. And this 86.1 seems to be quite famous. Quite famous. Quite famous. So then thank you very much. Allow me to do this one. So this one is cell number 5. And the cell number 5, ladies and gentlemen, for cell number 5, we have supplied 1800, but demand is 1650. So of course you'll compare supply and demand, and of course the effective one will be the lower. So in this case here, sell. So sell the lower, sell 1650. And the perish with how much? Perish with how many? So here we had supplied 1800, but demand is 1650. So I can see myself having some excess quantities without customers to buy. So you're going to perish with 150. So ladies and gentlemen, perish, of course, you subtract this and this, subtract. So what is going to happen? Here, I'm not going to perish 100%, no. They have told us we shall perish in terms of getting a reduced price. A reduced price. Now listen, look at how I'm going to get my profit here. My profit will be, I have this normal stock, 1650, which I'll be able to fetch my normal price of 210. Plus, I can see some other revenue coming from these perished items of 150. However, these ones here, I'll be selling them at how much per unit? They're talking to me. The ones in this case here, once we are not able to sell them, for example, on that particular day, we perish with them, we'll be able to fetch a lower price, 80, I'm being told, 80. So that is revenue. Minus cost, of course, I will incur cost for the entire what year? Entire supply. I'll incur a cost for the entire supply, which is 1800 times 138. Times 138. So could you kindly give me this answer? We see who got it right. Who got it right? Let's see who got it right. Let's see who got it right. Let's see who got it right. 110.11. Is there anybody who got 110.11 from those answers you're able to see up there? Is there anybody who got 110.1? Is there anybody who got 110.1? Yes. Thank you very much. So the students who got it a little bit wrong, I'm so sure you have been able to know where you went wrong. Yes. And then take a step of faith and give me the answers to number 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. Please give me all the answers now. Please give me all the answers now. Give me all the answers now, kindly. So they have given me the one of 7. 7 is 124.35. 7 is 124.35. 124.35. We have 8. 8 is 119.1. 119.1. We have 9. 9 is 101.4. 9 is 101.4. 101.4. Then we have 10. 10 happens to be 120.9. 10 happens to be 120.9. And then we have 12, 135, 135.15. Just like, ladies and gentlemen, a pastor who is trying to unite some couple in some wedding will always tell you if you see something bad, if you know anything bad, and you make like 3 announcements. Please tell us. But should you come to raise the same issues after we tie the two, then we'll never get to listen to you. The same case, I expect you to state something about these figures. If there is any figure you are doubting, please tell us. If there is any figure you are doubting, please tell us. We have a look at it. So in this case here, Omar wants us to do cell number 7. Omar wants us to do cell number 7. So for cell number 7, what do we have here? For cell number 7, ladies and gentlemen, for cell number 7, I can see the supply is 1800. The supply is 1800, but demand is 1950. So in this case here, I'm going to sell the lower, sell 1800. Here it's about disappointments. Disappoint, 150, the difference between the two. So that if that is the case, my selling will be 1800 times 210 minus 1800 times 138 minus the cost of disappointing these 150 customers. So 150 times 35. 150 times 35, could you kindly confirm that cell number 7 is 124.35? Kindly confirm that cell number 7 is 103, or rather 124.35. Please confirm very fast. Time is not on our side. Just using your calculator. Time is not on our side. If it's not correct, tell us it's not correct. And I don't mind repeating many times. Anthony says, correct. So Omar, are we together? Omar, are we together? $13 is 92.7. Thanks. So number 14, please keep on trying. Number 14, keep on trying. Number 14, keep on trying. Lokai gives me 112.2. The last one, cell number 15, 131.7. 131.7, ladies and gentlemen. Then what they expect us to do is to give them expected profits. So determine the number of bracelets that Maridadi Limited should order so as to maximize expected what? Profit. So then, ladies and gentlemen, these are the probabilities. I need to come and fix the probabilities on the demand. I need to come here and fix the probabilities on the demand. So we have here 0.3, we have 0.4, we have 0.2, we have 0.1. So come here and give me expected monetary values. Give us expected monetary values. So could you kindly give us those figures very first? Kindly give us those figures very first. Kindly give us those figures very fast. Expected monetary values. So how do we get this? We are taking this times probability plus. You give me an answer there. Expected profits or expected monetary value. So Mengich says 113.025. The first expected monetary value. The first expected monetary value is 113.025. From there, we have the second one. How about the second one? How about the second one? 121.65. From there, we have the third one. The third one. 120.375. How did they get this 120.375? They took the profit that we have here and then they averaged them by multiplying them with what here? With the probabilities. By multiplying them with the probabilities like that. And then we have the last ones. The last ones, what do we have? Somebody here. The last ones, what do we have? Somebody. The last one, what do we have? Somebody. The last one, 114.15. So in that regard, ladies and gentlemen, of course, we have said here severally categorically that we will always work with the highest expected monetary value. So the highest expected monetary value is this one here. So this is the best EMV. And then we'll have to ask these people to sell how many bracelets? 1,800 bracelets. So the company should sell 1,800 bracelets. The company should sell 1,800 bracelets. So regression analysis, ladies and gentlemen, regression analysis basically this is a statistical tool. It is a statistical tool that is used to develop straight line equations of the form y equals a plus bx. Straight line equations of the form y equals a plus bx. And if you remember, ladies and gentlemen, a is what we call the y-intercept, and the b is what we call, ladies and gentlemen, the gradient. B is what we call the gradient. B is what we call the gradient. Now, regression analysis gives us the methodology of getting the gradient and the y-intercept. Regression analysis, I'm repeating again, gives us the methodology of getting the gradient B and the y-intercept. And how do we apply this, ladies and gentlemen? For us to get B, I'm so sure there must be somebody here who is able to remember the formula, who is able to write for us the numerator of getting B. It doesn't matter how you write your sum, I'll be able to understand. When you say N, then you write sum in a form of SUM, etc. I'll be able to understand. I would want to see whether there is a student who was able to pick something very correct from the video, who will be able to give us the formula of getting the numerator of B. The formula of getting the numerator of B. The formula for getting the numerator. The numerator, or rather numerator. So very good. I can see in this case here, very good. Somebody who is very creative. Amesema hapa B equals N summations of XY. Summations of XY minus summation of X, summation of Y. All over, how about the denominator? How about the denominator? How about the creativity is essential? Creativity is important. Creativity is important. Creativity is important. Creativity is important. So this is a formula of getting the numerator of B. How about, in this case here, the denominator? You can see what Bwana Amaya is saying. Amaya anasema kwamba to get the denominator here, we shall be taking N summations of X squared minus into bracket summation of X who squared. So this is very important for us. Very important for us. How about the numerator? How do we get the numerator? To help you very quickly here, to get A, or rather to get A, which is the intercept, we normally take summation of Y minus B summation of X all over N, all over N. So ladies and gentlemen, I would want to progress to something different, but before I do so, I would want to know whether all of us have been able to write up to here. So you simply say Y for yes. You simply say Y for yes. You say Y for yes. That is the surest way of Mwalimu knowing that you guys are able to see his board, etc., etc., etc. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, if that is the case, then I would want again to ask you great students of mine a question. Is there any student who is attending for the very first time this QA class? This QA class, is there anybody who is attending for the very first time into my QA class? Okay. Okay. Then a short illustration for this. If you're given here XY, if you're given XY, perhaps they give you 6, 8, perhaps 13 there, and then we have 7, 9, and maybe 15 there, and maybe 15 there, and maybe 15 there, right? And then, ladies and gentlemen, somebody will need you are required here to determine A and B. You determine A and B using regression analysis. Determine A and B using regression analysis. Determine A and B using regression analysis. So using regression analysis, ladies and gentlemen, anytime anybody talks of regression analysis, ascertainment of parameters using regression analysis, what you're supposed to do is to come and create some 2 columns. The first column will capture the multiple XY. The second column will capture the multiple X squared. The multiple X squared. Basically, we want to take care of this and this. Abracadabra XY means we are multiplying. These are the 2 additional columns that we would need for us to be able to get regressional parameters. So I need the column of XY first. So what is 6 times 7? Abracadabra, pata potea. Pata potea. Please give me the multiples. What is 6 times 7? What is 6 times 7? Somebody give me the multiples. Somebody give me the multiples. 42. How about 8 times 9? How about 8 times? I know the multiples, but I would want really you guys to be engaged into this. 72. This one for sure I don't know offhand. The third one I don't know offhand. 13 times 15 gives me what figure? 13 times 15 will give me what figure? 13 times 15 will give me what figure? Brian Anami anasema 195. Once I do this column, I know that the next column is all about squaring X. So X squared. So X squared, what do we have? 6 squared, 8 squared, 13 squared. So could you kindly give me these figures now? What is 6 squared? This is 36. This is 8 squared, which gives me 64. And then we have 13 squared, which gives me 100 what here? 69. Ladies and gentlemen, if you remember from my video that I was able to demonstrate this thing very clearly, if you can remember, after you've been able to do, like now we have 4 columns here, regression is a sigma thing. Regression is a summations thing. So we need these summations here. So please come and give us all the summations down here. You start with summation of x. You start with summation of, the first column will give me summation of x. The second column will give me summation of y. The third column will give me summation of xy. The fourth column will give me summation of x squared. So could you kindly help us do this? So according to Sharon, anasema ya kwanza ni 27. Summation of x. Summation of x in 27. How about the other students? Please help me out. And of course, I know I'm a little bit fast, simply because if I move very slowly, there are students that had watched a video of this who will really be bored. I have to balance, So Fatma anasema 27 bado. Fatma anasema 27. 27. Or Fatma, you're talking about the first one. Next is 31. Next is 31. Thank you very much. How about the third one? Summation of xy. Sharon tells me it is 269. Sharon tells me it is 269. Summation of x squared. Summation of x squared. What do we have under summation of x squared? 309. Thank you very much. So remember that these are what here, somebody? These are summations. Summations like that. Thank you very much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would want us to move to the next level, which basically is plugging in these summations into the formulas. We plug them in. So the very first thing that I would want some good student here to tell me is the value of n. The value of n, is there anybody who is able to see the value of n? First of all, n stands for number of points. Number of points. Remember on a Cartesian plane, this is how our points look like. This is how our points look like. If this is, ladies and gentlemen, point A, it has got x coordinate and a y coordinate. So meaning that when you see this xy, like this is point number 1, point number 2, point number 3, they are correct. N is 3. Please don't count the totals. Don't count the totals. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment I'm okay with that, the next thing, of course, now is to plug in the values that we have in the formula. The values that we have in the formula. So please come and give me here the value of B. So the value of B, what do we have here? Somebody look at this. They want me to start with N. Oh, Brian tells me to interchange 269 and 309. So they are telling me that these should be 309 and these should be 269. Can somebody in this case here confirm? Esther is saying yes. Esther is saying yes. Today I haven't had anything from Grace. Grace, I'm yet to hear from you. Yes, thank you very much. And sorry for that erroneous swap. So N is 3. So 3 times summation of xy is this, which is 309, minus summation x alone, which is 27, times summation y. Summation y, ladies and gentlemen, is 31. Summation y is 31. All over n again, which is 3 times. So this is quite confusing. This confuses so many students. Iko mwingine aliniambia ati mwalimu summation x squared ati ni sawa na 27 ex at squared at 27. Uongo. This summation x squared, if you look at it very well, first of all, they want you to square what here? X alone. So they want you to square x alone. They want you to square x alone like that. Summation of x squared is here. So it is 269 minus into bracket. Now you can see they want us to encapsulate summation of x in brackets. Summation of x is 27. And then outside bracket, we do what here? We square. We square. So could you kindly do me a favor, and a big favor for that matter? Could you kindly give me the value of the numerator? Please, using your calculator, give me the value of the numerator. Give me the value of the numerator. So according to Fatma Mohammed, anasema 90. James Areba amesema pia ukichukua 3 times 309 minus 27 times 31. James Areba anasema kwamba ya numerator ni 90. Numerator ni 90. Can a different student give me the value of the denominator now? Denominator is 3 times 269 minus open brackets 27 squared. 27 squared according to Fatma. Fatma gives me 78. Of course, I would want this corroborated. I would want another student in this case here to give me, to confirm whether this 78 is correct. Whether 78 is correct. Sharon Gaetano, very good. Collins also has confirmed the 78. Maureen has also confirmed the 78. Thank you very much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, then do me a favor. Please go ahead and give me the quotient here. What is 90 divided by 78? What is 90 divided by 78? So Sharon tells me it is 1.154, like that. 1.154, like that. Great. So many guys have been able to confirm. Amaya has gone to four decimal places. So if Amaya goes to 4 decimal places, like what I'm seeing, if you want us to put this to be 3 decimal places, then don't you think that this should be 1.155? If you want us to do 3 decimal places, don't you think? From what I've seen, oh, it is 1.1538. Then you guys were okay. You are correct. It's supposed to be 1.15 what here? 1.154. Thank you very much. Let's restrict ourselves here to 3 decimal places. That is quite good enough for us. That is quite good enough for us. Ladies and gentlemen, this figure here will be stored somewhere at the back of my mind because I need it here. While calculating A, I need the value of B. So this figure, I have to really write it permanently somewhere at the back of my mind. So please come and give me the value of A. So how do we get A? To get A, we are taking summation of Y. Summation of Y is here. Summation of Y is here. It is 31 minus the value of B that we got. The value of B that we got, ladies and gentlemen, was 1.154 times summation of X. Summation of X happens to be what here, somebody? 27. Everything got to be divided by N, which is 3. So here you have to be very careful. Here you have to be very careful. Please pick the numerator alone. Handle it. Remember, body mass tells you that this over is like brackets. So if it's like brackets, ensure that first of all you evaluate the numerator value and then the numerator value separately, and then now you go ahead to give us the quotient. So we have to get the numerator alone. So who is that student who will be able to give me the numerator alone? I can see people here, gentlemen and ladies here, who have got very good names. Very good names. They should be able really to assist me. Very good names. Lynn has given me a dash. Negative 0.158. So somebody tells me that the numerator is negative 0.158. So divide this by what here? By 3. Divide this by 3. Divide this by 3, and I expect you, great students of mine, to give me an answer in terms of 2 decimal, or not 2, but 3. Final answer in terms of 3 decimal places. So when you take this, you divide by this. According to Amaya, amesema ni minus 0 at Collins, 0.053. These are good students. Wamesema kwamba A should be negative 0.053, like that. Therefore, remember, finally, you guys have a responsibility of writing for us the value, or rather the formula for Y. You have the responsibility of connecting Y and X using the connectors A and B. So in that case, ladies and gentlemen, my Y here will be equal to A which is minus 0.053 plus B. 1.154 X, like that. So ladies and gentlemen, remember that our work at the end of it all is to provide the Y equation, the straight line equation, by bringing in the values of A and B that you have gotten. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm so sure I've moved quite fast. What I do not know is whether we have understood it fully up to here. Is there anybody who has a question? Now, first of all, let me ask the first question. Have we followed really 100% all of us up to where we are? If we have, simply you say why. Why for yes? Don't write so many things. If you have been able to follow, like Robert says, yes. And please don't shy away. James says yes. Sharon, yes. 3 out of 30, that's quite a small percentage. So those are 6 students. I always work with about 50%, because I know the other 50% wananyamaza, unaweza kwamba wajafuata. Fatma is honest. Fatma amesema she's getting a different value of A. Fatma angalia, angalia. Tumesema A namna gani? Ni summation of y minus b summation of x over n. Ukipata figure tofauti mimi najua summation of y hapa ni gani jameni? Ni 31 minus b itself, which is this one, times summations of x. Summations of x ni gani somebody? Ni 27. Summation of x ni 27. Divide this by number of points, and how many of them are they? 3. Fatma, mali umekosea, haujatafuta numerator kando. Lazima utafute numerator kando na calculator yako. Numerator useme 31 minus 1.154 times 27. Useme equals Fatma. Please, ukifanya, mimi najua nimemark exams za CASNEB for so long. I've marked CASNEB exams for so long, and I know the biggest mistake that students do. Utapata mwanafunzi wengi hata Fatma akifungua roho vizuri aseme, anasema kwa calculator 31 minus 1.154 times 27, alafu anasema divide by what? By 3. So unakuta calculator yake imepick this alone to be divided by what? And you see this 3 is supposed to be a divisor for both. And that is why I started by telling you, ladies and gentlemen, that this is like a bracket, which tells you, first of all, hey, handle me, who is up there in the numerator first. Handle me from up there. I'm on top of the tree. First of all, take care of me. Once you do that, the question now can come in much later. I hope, Fatima, now we are together. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here we have been able to establish that for sure, there is what we call a function that we have been able to establish very well. But now, how strongly are the variables x and y related? Ladies and gentlemen, you could get into a marriage. Fine. But even in this marriage, you could be just like people who never got married in the first place. You don't rhyme at all, right? So you come in this case here into the house, bwana akiangalia TV, mama ako jikoni, mama ametoroka upstairs, namna hiyo, hamuongeleshani. So at the end of the day, if we have got two functionalities, we've got two variables here, y and x, that have been married into a model, we need to go a step further to assess and see what is the bond between these y and x. So basically, ladies and gentlemen, we are going into what we call correlation analysis. Correlation analysis. This is the bond analysis. And this bond analysis will always answer the question. It answers the question, how strongly are the variables related? How strongly are the variables related? How strongly are the variables related? And we shall be able to see that variables that are really related in a very strong way, their correlation coefficient should be what here, somebody? More than 75%. Anytime you've got, ladies and gentlemen, two variables, x and y, having a coefficient between them, frictional coefficient between them over at least 75%, then we say that those two variables are strongly related. Let me tell you for sure, I know most of you here are young, but if you are to get married, and then in this case here, your level of similarity or agreement tunes into this figure or above, then that is quite a great marriage. There is quite a big bond, right, between the two, right? But again, remember, if, for example, you come and get, ladies and gentlemen, a relationship that is perfect, 100%, then this one is just some way of cheating. If you get a couple, ladies and gentlemen, that agrees 100% in everything, trust you me, that one of those couple members, one of them is irrelevant. And in most cases, it is the husband. If you're able to agree 100%, huyo akisema jump, wewe kazi unauliza, hata uulize why, unasema how high do you want me to jump? Right? Ile ambayo unaona sasa unapata pastor na bibi yake anakuja anasema ati baby tulipika nini asubuhi for breakfast. Ile yote hawezi mkakuwa related 100%. That is what we call perfect models, which in this case here can never. Yes, thank you very much James. At least James, I can see James. James sio kijana sana. James ameelewa. Unajua wale ambao bado wako chini kidogo kiumri, unaona kama nikiolewa leo atakuwa 100%. Hakuna. If you get someone who is even 50%, umejaribu sana. Wengi ni negative. Kama hapa tunasoma kuhusu negative relationships, international disaster. So how strongly are the variables related? How strongly are the variables related is what we shall be looking at under bond analysis. There are those of you whose relationships will be at 0. Others will be opposite. Opposite, napata mama anasema, mzee, tununue shamba. Mzee anasema, mimi sitaki mambo ya shamba, mimi nataka kamare. You see now that is a negative relationship. Where will you take each other? Right? Wewe unasema kamare, wewe unasema real asset. You're in a negative relationship. Ladies and gentlemen, for us here, there are two models which are normally used to measure correlation. So there are two models. We're writing our notes there that there are two models used to measure correlation. Used to measure correlation. Number one, ladies and gentlemen, we have what we call the Carl-Pearson's model. The Carl-Pearson's model. And then number two, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Rank-Spearman's model. Both of them are denoted with R. Both of them are denoted with what here? With R. Both of them are denoted with R. And if you look at your past papers, in most cases, you'll be told to differentiate between these two correlation measures. Ladies and gentlemen, we normally use Carl-Pearson's model whenever the variables that we have are quantitative in nature. Whenever the variables that we have are quantitative, so quantitative variables. If I get those variables that I'm able to quantify means what here? Measurable or countable. If, for instance, I wanted to know how many students we have at RCM online classes, what I'll do is to just log into the Zoom meetings that you have with your teachers, and then I'll be able to count. So number of students, of course, they keep on varying. Number of students, ladies and gentlemen, is a quantitative variable. Is a variable whose values I'll be able to get through counting. If, for example, today, like nowadays, I think because of the nature of my work, I sit quite a lot. I'm really feeling that I'm gaining a lot of weight. So it's something I'm trying to work on. It's something in this case that every other day nowadays I have to stand on some weighing scale. Like just the other day, it was yesterday actually, I went on to a weighing scale and I was really, demotivated because instead of my weight reducing because of the kind of gym that I'm hitting every day, my weight is doing what is. Ladies and gentlemen, weight is a measurable thing. Any variable that you've got to measure or count for you to be able to ascertain its value, it is what here a quantitative. So if somebody asks you to define a quantitative variables are those variables that are either measurable or in this case here countable. For example, if you want to know my height, you'll come and use a tape measure. You measure. How about this Spearman's? We normally use the Rank-Spearman's model, ladies and gentlemen, to capture what we call qualitative variables. Qualitative variables are those variables you cannot measure, you cannot count. Those variables that you can't measure, you can't count. You can't measure, you can't count are called what here, somebody? Qualitative variables. Very good example of a qualitative variable, ladies and gentlemen, is female beauty. Female beauty. Female beauty. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no way you'll be able to measure how beautiful a lady is. Impossible. That's an impossibility. So the gentleman here, Frederick, there is no way you can start telling us that my wife is 90% beautiful. I mean, no. These are qualitative variable. And that is where all qualitative variables are what here? They are subjective. What you are seeing to be beautiful may not be beautiful to someone else. And that is why, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, qualitative variables in terms of measuring the bond, you must come and do what the only thing you can do is to have judges. Have, for example, judge 1. And then, for example, here we have judge 2. Judge 2. So these judges will be like gentlemen who are what here? Gentlemen who are idlers out here. You get some idlers, and then you give them names of ladies. You give them names of ladies. You have, for example, here, Mother Karua. Mother Karua. We have, for example, I want ladies that all of us will be knowing. Please give me names of ladies that you know out there. These politicians, you know them. Please shout their names, 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 shout their names. Those ladies that you know, like Wanjiro, Margaret. Jina ni ngumu kuandika, acha nione kama nitaipata. Margaret Wanjiro. Nani mwingine hawajasema bado. I want you guys to don't feel shy. Don't feel shy. Anne Waiguru, thank you very much. Pasaris, yes. Anne Waiguru. Then we have Pasaris. Kwani hakuna hawa politicians toka Nyanza, nyinyi mnajua ni beautiful. Mbona mnasema wote wa pande moja sasa Mbona mnasema wa pande moja? Hakuna hata kutoka Margaret. Hapana, hiyo sasa mmesema wengi sana pande moja. Ama Pasaris ni Pasaris ni Nyanza? Hapana. Sema mwingine hata kutoka Nyanza namna hii. Millicent, yes. We have Millicent. Now, I would want in this case, ladies and gentlemen, for purposes, Gladys Omanga, yes, again, umetosha. For purposes of our study here, I would want no, Brian, that is a bad one. That one, if we give that example here, she may come for us, Akothe may come for us. Very good. Now, I want in this case here some two gentlemen here to try ranking these ladies here in terms of their beauty. And I would want in this case here volunteers, or rather because of time, I would want Gibson, bila kuogopa chochote. Ukiangalia naweza kukupatia number 1 hapa to be the most beautiful. Hata mimi ni mzee lakini naweza kujudge. Naweza nikajudge. Lakini leo sitaki kujudge. Judge ni nyinyi. Nataka wanaume wawili. Gibson anipatie yake na Brian anipatie wake. So Gibson amesema Pasaris number 1. Thank you very much. How about number 2 Gibson? Haraka Gibson. Number 2 ukisema just the first letter. Kuna ma-M mingi. Number 2 ni gani? Number 2 ni nani? I mean, Kiswahili ngumu. Number 2 according to Gibson. Hata ukitype tu kidogo initials. Waiguru takes number 2. Waiguru takes number 2. Number 3. James, wewe sijakupatia kazi. James, sijakupatia kazi. Ni watu wawili nimepatia kazi. Gibson, bado niko kwako Gibson. Number 3 nani? Gibson. Number 3 nani? Millicent. Number 3 Millicent. Number 3. Number 4. Gibson, bado niko kwako Gibson. Niko kwako. Margaret. So Margaret in this case here, number 4 is Margaret Wanjiro. And then my neighbor here at Isinya, my neighbor here, Mother Karua, got a very good property at Isinya. Anakula the last number, last position. This is a female beauty contest. How about judge number 2? Judge number 2, he said is Brian. Brian, very fast, please give me. Remember, what may be beautiful to Gibson may not be beautiful to judge 2. May not be beautiful in this case here to Brian. So Brian, please give me your rankings very fast. So Millicent, Pasaris, Waiguru. So Millicent number 1, Pasaris number 2, Waiguru number 3, Waiguru number 3. Aha. Aki muspatie karua nyota last. Aki. Muspatie karua nyota last. Anyway, my point here is at home. Ladies and gentlemen, disqualified. We shall overcome. This is a qualitative variable. It's a qualitative variable. It is a qualitative variable. It is a qualitative what here? Variable. Female beauty, you can't attach a value to this. And all qualitative variables for purposes of measuring them, then the only way is to have various judges ranking them. And if it is a ranks that you have, ladies and gentlemen, then the only model you can use is the Spearman ranks model. Spearman's ranks model. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get back here. Please write for me there, Carl Pearson's model. Carl Pearson's model. So the Carl Pearson's model, what do we have here for Carl Pearson's model? For Carl Pearson's model, what do we have here for Carl Pearson's model? So for Carl Pearson's model, ladies and gentlemen, I need to know the formula of getting R. I need to know the formula of getting R. Anytime they mention Carl Pearson's model R, first of all, I'll be forced to remember the formula of getting B, because there is quite a big relationship between B and R. And B is something I will never forget. I know that B equals n summations of xy minus sum of x, sum of y, all over n summations of x squared, bracket sum of x squared. You have to cram this the way I've crammed it myself. That is the formula of getting B. That is the formula of getting B. That is the formula of getting B, right? Now, ladies and gentlemen, listen and listen to me very well. Now come and get R. R stands for what we call the correlation. The correlation, what here? Coefficient. The correlation coefficient. So when you tell me to give you the correlation coefficient, there is one thing, I may forget about so many things, but there is one thing that I will never forget about, that the numerator of R and the numerator of B are the same. Ladies and gentlemen, let me repeat this. Ladies and gentlemen, I may forget about many things, about these formulas. But one thing that will never, ever escape my memories, which I'll always remember, is that the numerator of R is the same as the numerator of boy, this B. So the numerators are the same. So we have here n summations of xy minus summation of x, summation of y, all over. Now, the moment I've taken care of the numerator, there is also something that I know about the denominator. There is also a relationship about the denominators. If I understand this, I've understood the entire thing. So for the denominator, what I need to do is to come and copy this. So it is n summation of x squared minus summation of x, what here? Squared like that. Great, great. Now listen. This is correlation. This is correlation. This is correlation. Ladies and gentlemen, anytime umesikia jina ko ikisemekana mahali, and you happen to be a lady, please, you're supposed to run away very fast. This core thing is not a very good thing. Oh, it's a bad thing. It's a bad thing. This core thing is a bad thing. Ukienda usikie mtu amesema, for example, co-wife. Aya. Namaanisha namna gani? 2 or even more. Bad husbands, 2 or even more, like that. So the same case, ukisikia correlation, kwa denominator, hawezi ukakuwa na x alone. Correlation, it is x and y. So you must come, ladies and gentlemen, here and expand your denominator. How do you expand it? To bring the other partner. And who is the natural partner here? It is y, and he has to take the same format. And this is it. So nitakuja niseme hapa n summation of y, same format with this, minus open brackets. Instead of saying sum of x, I'll come and say sum of y. And then we do what here? Somebody will say squared like that. It doesn't end there. Mkiwa katika this polygamy relationship, ladies and gentlemen, lazima mvae kofia. Hawa wanavaa kofia. Hizi kofia ni gani? Ni square root. Sio mchezo kwa polygamy. Think is a joke. Hapa katikati kuna nini? Iko mwingine aliandika formula vizuri kwa exam hivi just the other day. Hapa katikati, you know, ladies and gentlemen, Saturn is real. Saturn is real and is there. But you can imagine somebody who gets this formula correctly, everything. Lakini hapa kawaida, ati anakuja pale anaweka plus. Unataka kusema usi shetani. Everything is correct. Lakini mwisho katikati hapa anaweka plus. So Saturn is real, and that is why you need always to bind him away. Whenever you're doing exams, ladies and gentlemen, lazima unamkemea kabisa, unasema apotee mbali, ashindwe kabisa. So hapa inafaa kuwa namna gani? Somebody always times. Correlation has got the two variables there. Now, ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor. Please, could somebody go at the back of their books? At the back of their books. I'm not able to see what you are doing because you guys are so mean with yourselves. So mean with yourselves. There is nobody really who has ever even put their videos on for Mwalimu even to know their faces. Nobody. But at times, there is a time I asked some students of Section 5 why they don't put on their cameras. Unajua mwalimu sasa tuko nyumbani saa 2 saa 3 usiku, tunaweza kuwa tumevaa pajama anyway. So is there somebody who has gone to the back of their books? So on a blank page, I would want somebody to take a step of faith and try writing down the formula of R. And if you're able to get it correctly without really struggling, without really making reference to where you had written it, then ladies and gentlemen, you're a brilliant student. You need to put up your hand wherever you are. Yes, and please don't play some monkey games here. Don't start, in this case, ladies and gentlemen, looking at, no. Just jog up your memory. Hata ukikosea, so what? It's part of the game. It's part of learning. I can see somebody who has known how to use emoji. Ladies and gentlemen, it's important as we use Zoom, if you don't want to miss physical classes. By the way, I don't miss physical classes personally. Because I believe the Zoom classes work magic. Know how to use emojis. These emojis is something that you need really to master. You know, this Zoom is the way to go. Even in future, all your board meetings will be through what here Zoom. So the people who are very effective, they know how to also make use of what here emojis, like somebody's clapping there. That's a good skill that you must learn. Emoji comes from the word emoticon. Emoticon comes from the word emotion. So you need to know how to portray your emotions while you are in a meeting. Emotions. For example, ladies and gentlemen, I can assure you without, in this case here, missing my words, I can assure you that if you're that student who always, even if you understand nothing, if you're that kind of a student who always smiles, like this is a great smile, great, you will pass this paper. Hii paper itaki makasiriko. If you're this kind of a student, ataka you understand, unacheka tu, this paper is your paper for grabs, to grab this paper. Lakini ikiwa ni ule mwanafunzi emoji kila saa, emoji ni sawa za kusema nimekasirika, lakini wewe kila saa unakasirikia nani? Sasa angalia huyu. Anakasirikia nani? Right? Hii pepe inaweza kuara sana. Hii pepe nataka wanafunzi whose happiness index iko very high, very high. Kama huja understand, unasema mimi sija understand. Unaweka thumbs down like that. Lakini kukasirika hii, makasiriko hapana. Very good. So ushasoma something hapa, very important. Maybe huko unajua mimi ni mzee lakini mimi nafanya research sana. Sana. We shall overcome. So you haven't yet answered my thing. So is there somebody, ladies and gentlemen, who has been able to write that formula R? peke yake. Anybody who has been able to write that formula R peke yake bila ku make reference akiwe niongelesha raka. So James amesema yes. Any other student who has been able to do that, ladies and gentlemen? Any other student who has been able to do that? Kuandika correct formula. Kuandika correct formula raka. Sharon amesema yes. Rebecca amesema pia yes. Rebecca amesema yes. Thank you. Oh, ulikopi paste tena. Aya. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would want us to do just one question here for us to be thorough in this thing. And I would want to throw your memories quite back to May 2014, question number 2C. May 2014, question number 2 cow. May 2014, question number 2 cow. For those of you who have got these revision kits, I hope you have bought them. RCM's revision kits. Yes, for those of you who have got RCM's revision kits, it's on page number 77. Page number 77. Page number 77. Page number 77. Please confirm to me whether you have been able to get access to that question. Even if you don't have it, it's quite an easy one to write down. I'll be able to write it down for you, but we have it. We have it. James Areba amesema yes. That's only one student out of 30. Adega amesema yes. So could you kindly do me a favor, because I can see those yeses are coming in, trickling quite few. Is it possible to take a snapshot of that question and then you throw it on our WhatsApp group? You simply take a photo of that question and share it on our WhatsApp group. You share it on our WhatsApp group. You share it on our WhatsApp group. Is it possible for you to do that? Is it possible for you to do that? So now I can start reading, because I'm so sure there must be somebody who is already doing that in my group. I'm so sure. Wanasema Healthwise Limited is a health insurance provider that has been in operation for the last 2 years. The cost accountant of the company is concerned with the high cost incurred by the agents of the company in making calls to prospective customers. The data below relates the number of calls made by the agents and the turnover of the company. So number of calls made, and turnover of the company, and the turnover of the company. And then they have gone ahead, ladies and gentlemen, to give me the number of calls, And then they have given me here turnover. Please remember that turnover is the same as sales. Turnover is the same as sales. So here they have given me 950. Here they have given me 250. Here we have 360. Here we have 484. Here we have got 590. Here we have got, ladies and gentlemen, 635. Here we have got 492. Here we have got 370. And then 415. So, ladies and gentlemen, if that is the case, this is what we need to do very first. This is what we need to do very first. You know, QA is the best paper in CPA. So turnover ya kwanza wamenipatia 366. Tuko na 86, tuko na 125, tuko na 136, tuko na 188, tuko na 160, tuko na 148, tuko na 72, and then we have 118. So please, first of all of us, we must copy up to there. And the moment you finish copying up to there, could you kindly stand up and say yes? Yes. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, when you're using this Zoom, you need to be you don't even have to sit down for a whole 2 hours. No, walk around. calculator. So, ladies and gentlemen, once I've done this is something, especially when I used to be an examiner, it is something that I used to really apply to ensure that I threw most of my students under the bus that is, of course, heading towards what here, passing. You know, when you throw somebody under the bus, what does it mean? This person, of course, will get, you'll not be able to reach Canaan. So, you know, as an examiner, you as an examiner, and myself as a student, we are in opposing sides. You as an examiner, you'll be given direct conditions here by maybe CASNEP that would want, in this case here, of course, few people to pass. So yako kufinya. Yangu as a student, I would want to, most of us in this case here, survive. Right? Most of us in this case here should be able to pass. So as a good examiner, you must always know those areas that if you touch like this, you'll be able to flip the coin to ensure like 50% of the students here will go under the bus. And this is one thing that I used to make use of in those days. Ladies and gentlemen, you see here, they haven't given you between the two variables, which one is y and which one is x. Between the two variables, which one is y and which one is x. Gani y, gani x. Gani y, gani x. Kwa hizi variables, gani y, gani x. Pata potea. Ukinipatia hiyo jibu, sinafaa nikupatie zawadi. Fatima anasema number of calls x. Lilian pia anasema the same, Fatima the same. Turnover becomes y. Thank you very much, Grace. Great. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you ask those students why they're giving, for example, number of calls to be x, most of them will not be having an answer. Most of them will tell you that it is because number of calls happens to be the first column, and as per the chronological order, alphabetical order, then the first one should be x, the second one should be what here? Should be y. There is nothing that can be further from the truth than that. We must establish the dependence relationship. Which one depends on the other? Which one depends on the other? Which variable depends? So you must always establish the dependence relationship. So, ladies and gentlemen, listen and listen to me very well. If, for example, you go to a place like Kajiado, I like Kajiado so much. I love Kajiado so much because that is the place I've made now to be my home. Yes, Grace has pinned it. If, for example, you look at output of, let me just use any crop, output of maize versus rainfall amounts. If you're given two variables of this nature, ladies and gentlemen, here I'm able to see very fast that rainfall amount depends on maize. Rainfall depends on maize. True? Rainfall depends on maize. True? No. It is the other way around. The output of maize that you're going to have in a particular season depends on rainfall. Ladies and gentlemen, rainfall, the amount of rainfall we're going to receive is an act of God. Whether you plant maize or cassava or grass or nothing, if rainfall is to be there, it has to be there. So rainfall is what here is independent. The one that depends on the other is maize. So the one that depends on the other on a Cartesian plane has to be plotted on the y-axis. The one that depends on the other. So, ladies and gentlemen, here for sure, maize should be the y because it is the one that depends on who? Depends on rainfall. It is the one that depends on rainfall. And then, of course, after you have established now the dependence relationship, ladies and gentlemen, so rainfall in this case here, the other one becomes what here? X. No, we are not communicating, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see whether we are able to communicate here. Sales versus advertising. Sales versus advertising. Which one depends on the other? Which one should go to the y-axis? Is it sales or is it advertising? Is it sales or advertising? Which one depends on the other? Which one? Amount of sales, ladies and gentlemen, that you're going to generate for sure depends on, in this case here, depends on how you advertise. For instance, if you look at it right now, online classes in the whole of this republic, there is nobody, no college can ever defeat what here? RCM online. Why? Because Dr. Aura is very good in advertising. If I slumber a little bit in terms of advertising, our sales will do what here? Will go down. So then, gentlemen, you must always look at the variable that depends on the other. The one that depends on the other. Like now here, Y will be sales because sales is a dependent. It's a function that is being influenced by advertising. So look at this thing keenly. Look at this thing keenly. Which one depends on the others? And gentlemen, here, if you have ever worked in a hospital, getting payments from insurance here for the clients that you have been able to treat is never a simple thing. The people that you have at the bank, you must be having people will be making seriously follow-ups with who? With those insurance companies. Right? So then, gentlemen, calls that you make will be able to trigger our turnover. So sales automatically will be my what here, my Y. The other one, this number of calls, this is pretty similar to what here, to advertising. Ladies and gentlemen, I would want you to do me a favor. There is a question that we did with you here, which had X and Y, and it had 3 points. The one that we did, which had 3 points. B, or rather, X ilikuwa ngapi? Somebody, X ilikuwa ngapi? Oye, X ilikuwa ngapi? Hebu nikumbushe, make reference to, and then of course, after you make reference, it's important that we take a break for Maghrib prayers. No, I don't want the summations. I want the individuals. I want the individual items. Was it 6, 8 something? 6, 8 something. 6, 8, 13. How about summation of Y? Summation of Y. Or not summation, but the Y parameters, the Y metrics. So inakuwa ni 7, 9, 15. 7, 9, and 15. So the gentlemen will take exactly 5 minutes break. 5 minutes break. When we come back, we shall be able to continue right away from here. And of course, after our break, I'll be able to show you how to make use of a calculator to get the summations. Because look at these numbers, they are very big. You start multiplying them. If you start squaring some of them, these numbers are very big. Why should we hustle that way? And yet CASNEB has allowed us to make use of a calculator to get those summations. Ladies and gentlemen, this 1918 will come back after 5 minutes. Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we continue here straight away. So, you know, like if you look at this example that we have, it's quite an extensive question with huge numbers. If you try doing like now square of X here, 950 squared, you really keep on writing many things. So you're supposed, in this case, to use our calculators to simplify our work. So then what are we supposed to do? We are supposed to pick our calculator like this, ladies and gentlemen. Please, there near on, you'll be able to see mode. Is there anybody who has been able to see that button called mode? Somebody say Y for yes. Is there anybody who has been able? Thank you very much. So when you click on that mode, when you click on the mode, either once, twice, or whatever, you'll be able to see reg. You'll be able to see reg. Reg for what? Reg for regression. Reg for regression. Calculator yako, hiyo reg chini yake iko namba gani calculator yako? Calculator yako. Hiyo reg chini ya reg iko namba gani chini ya reg? Is it 2 or 3? Roba anasema 3. Aha. Collins anasema 3. Aha. John Kamau anasema 3. So 3. So you press 3. Iko mwanafunzi amepress 3. Ukipress 3 inakuuliza kitu gani kwa screen hapo? Imekuambia lugha gani? Inakuambia lugha gani? Kuna calculator ambayo inaongea Kijapanese hapo. Ya inakuuliza, are you doing a linear regression logarithmic regression, exponential regression. To us in business, we always do linear regression. Lean. Always, we don't do logarithmic. Always it's linear regression. So you say 1, because linear chini yake kuna 1. Yuko mwanafunzi amefika kweli hapo kweli? Yuko mwanafunzi amefika hapo kweli ama bado? Aha, Fatima anasema yes. James, yes. Those are few yeses. Robert, yes. Thank you very much. Now, thank you very much. Now, I want us to pick the first number to our operating memories of our calculators. So I would want us to say 6,7. There is a button somewhere there near the AC. Near the AC, there is a comma for separating numbers. So I would want you to press there 6,7. 6,7. 6,7. Ukisema 6,7, then we would want to enter this to the operating memory. Unasema M plus, just there about AC. There about AC, you'll be able to see M with a plus, M for memory. Is there anybody who is able to see that M plus? Is there anybody who is able to see that M plus? Thank you very much. When you press it once, after you've said 6,7, when you press it once, what are you, is there anybody who is being told there that N equals 1? Let's see. N equals, yeah. Aki wengine hapa waniongeleshi. Thank you very much. Great. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, that straight away calls you to enter the second. So utakuja useme 8,9. Alafu unasema M plus 8,9. Unasema M plus 8,9. Unasema M plus 8,9. Unasema M plus. Is there somebody who has been told that this time round N equals? Thank you very much, Maureen. Thank you very much, Maureen. So we got the last one, which is 13,15. 13,15. Alafu unasema M plus. What are you able to see there? Unasema M plus. What are you able to see there? M plus. Inasema N equals 3. Thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, there are things that I would want you to always remember when you're using this algorithm. Kwamba, there are 2 columns here which are very important for us. In regression, we have XY and then we have X squared. So, ladies and gentlemen, when they talk over this calculator, una create this column, unaandika hapa chini sum of X, unaandika hapa chini sum of Y, unaandika hapa sum of XY, unaandika sum of X squared, unasema equals like that. Great. Sasa, hapa lazima ukuwe na ile macho ya kuona sawa. Iko mama aliimba kwamba Mungu nipatie macho ya kuona sawa, macho undani ya kuona sawa. Sasa, ukiangalia vizuri juu ya button number 1, kama uko na ile macho ambayo imekula carrot mzuri, there is some yellow right up that you have up there on top of button number 1. What are you able to see? Kama una macho mzuri hauwezi ukaona. Kama hujakula carrot mzuri huwezi ukaona. Ama kama for example, mchana ulipitia kwa kunywa kitu kingine ambayo iko mbali kidogo na maji, huwezi ukaona. So wananiambia juu ya number 1 kuna S sum. Na hiyo S sum imeandikwa na kala gani? Kwa maana esa hiyo S sum imeandikwa na kala gani somebody? Yellow. Ikiandikwa na yellow inamaanisha namna gani? Calculator ikiandikwa na yellow. Ikiandikwa na yellow ama ni maridadi. Very good, Lilian. Thank you very much. Ukiandika na yellow inamaanisha for you to access that, lazima useme shift. Thank you very much, Collins. For you to access that a sum which is in yellow, lazima useme shift 1. Nataka tuende pole tuende pamoja. Iko mwanafunzi ashasema shift 1. Iko mwanafunzi ameshasema shift 1. Ukisema shift 1, what is now being displayed on your screen? What's being displayed on your screen? Mimi naona yangu inaniambia sum of X squared. Iko mwanafunzi great. Fatima amesema tayari. Akisa mwanafunzi mmoja. Fatima amesema sum of X. Ameona N. Aki wanafunzi wengi hata wajaona chochote oye. Hawajaona. Kwa screen yenu Edna imeandikwa namna gani? Siwezi kubali mkono majina mazuri kama alafu amniongeleshi. Lazima mniongeleshe mimi baba yenu, hata mniambia happy Father's Day. James ananiambia kuna summation of x squared. Great. Thank you very much. Now I can see students are really coming through to give me what they're able to see on the screen. So the very first one that I want in this unknown matrix is a summation of x squared. And the summation of x squared, you can see summation of x squared. If you're a good student, below sum of x squared, I can see a 1. Summation of x squared, I can see a 1. So what I'm supposed to do is to write 1 there. And once I write 1 there, you must be careful. When you write 1 there, you are seeing summation of x squared alone being left on the screen. When it's left on the screen, please, I've seen always students saying kwamba sum of x squared is 3. No. When it's left on the screen alone, it means that now you are at a position of evaluating it, of saying equals. You say equals. You say equals. So when you say equals, who is able to see that summation of x squared is 200? Mine could be wrong because, let me see. Summation of x squared. Please give me summation of x squared. What figure are you able to see? Robert tells me 269. Robert tells me 269. James has been able to confirm. James has been able to confirm. Because kumoja mwanafunzi fulani alinifurahisha sana. Kana mimi najua mwalimu, mimi natoka pande za Kitui. Na kitu ikiwa yellow, mimi haiwezi kunishinda. So long as ni yellow, haiwezi kunishinda. Hiyo nimeshika sana. Ladies and gentlemen, anytime you want any sigma, what do? You must say shift number 1. Shift 1. I'll come back to pick you, don't worry. Shift 1, because I want another sum. So is there somebody who has been able to go back to shift 1? Is there somebody who has been able to go back to shift 1? Shift 1. Anytime you want any sum, you must go back to shift 1. Shift 1, pata potea, shift 1. Shift 1. So once I press shift 1, I'm able to see summation of x squared, summation of x and n. I'm interested in summation of x. Summation of x beneath the summation of x, I'm able to see number 2. So what I'm supposed to do is to press 2, and then summation of x is left alone on my screen. When it's left alone like that, I need to come slowly and say equals to evaluate it. James Areba tells me 27. Lillian tells me 27. 27, John Kamau. I don't know whether this student called John Kamau is somebody, a friend of mine, that I also taught at, is it Visions or wherever? Very many years ago. I don't know whether it's the same or is a new student. I don't know. So summation of x, wanasema 20 what here, somebody? 27. Now, using that concept, could you kindly try evaluating summation of y for me? Anytime I want any summation, before I go back to pick the student, okay, no problem, don't come out. You'll also be my friend. I like friends, right? Anytime, ladies and gentlemen, I want to get summation of y, summation of any parameter, I'll always go back to shift 1. So when I say shift 1, what am I seeing there, ladies and gentlemen? When I say shift 1, I'm seeing summation of x squared, summation of x, n. I don't want n. You know, n is very easy because n will be able to count. N, don't get it from the calculator. And like now, n, we know here n is 3. Fortunately, I can see that there is an arrow here pointing there, saying that there are more functions. There are more functions inside there. So the question is, how do I use this arrow? There's a button there which happens to be the biggest button in your calculator, like Mwalimu's head. I'm very privileged there. My head is very big. Yeah, when you have a big head, that's a privilege. So the biggest button, imeandikwa replay. Imeandikwa replay. Like you just wanafunzi wanapenda kunichekeza sana. Iko wanafunzi, but I think it's because they're very busy at their workplaces. Yani, hii kitu imesema, hii button inafaa kwenda wapi huko. Lakini utapata mwingine akiweka wapi? Akiweka hii huko, anafinya hii huko. Ni kama wale ukijaribu kufunza mtu kuendesha gari. Unaambia mtu kanyaga brake, yeye anakanyaga mafuta. Unaona gari imebonda ingine pa. Kwanza ni shida mama wako nayo sana, sijui kwa sababu ya uoga manini. Inakuwa international disaster. Sasa kitu na imekwambia uguze ile au unaguza hii, sasa ni mambo gani hiyo? Right? So iko mwanafunzi ameguza hiyo replay ile proper one. Iko mwanafunzi ameguza replay proper one. Iko mwanafunzi ameguza replay the proper one. James anasema yes. So once you do that, ladies and gentlemen, you'll be able to see your screen changing power. When it changes like that, what are you able to see? You are able to see summation of y squared. You are able to see summation of y. You are able to see summation of xy. I don't want summation of y squared for regression. For regression, I don't want summation of y squared. For regression, I'll be interested in this and this. And how I wish I had a good student by now. This good student should have given me the value of sum of y. By now, this student should have given me the sum of y. Sum of y. By now, this student should have given me the sum of y. Robert tells me, Mwalimu, sum of y is 31. Is there anybody who can confirm that for sure sum of y is 31? Is there anybody who can confirm for sure that sum of y is 31? Is there anybody who can confirm for sure that sum of y is 31? Someone else. Lillian has confirmed Lillian is a good student. I will repeat. You see now, for me to be able to bring everyone on board, I have to start the process from scratch. Normally, how I do it, the ones who have followed a little bit, I finish with them 100%, and then I go back, and then I start again. Great. And they have even gone ahead to give me summation of xy as 309, as 309. Sum of xy, they've gone ahead to give me sum of xy as 3 what here, somebody? As 309, as 309. 309. So, ladies and gentlemen, then allow me to repeat very fast, but of course, as I repeat, the students who are following this recording, yours is very easy. You simply rewind the recording, right? And then, of course, if you're a good student who knows how to make use of videos, know when to pause. For example, when I reach a past paper question, I've mentioned that today we are doing May 2014 question 2C. A bright student will pause, get that question first. Even try to understand the question before you continue watching the video. Otherwise, if you don't do that, ladies and gentlemen, then this thing will not really help. You don't know how to make use of educational videos. You're supposed to be watching what here? Soap operas. Or in this case, here, these programs like Maria, which come at Citizen, which you can't be able to do what to pause. But for QA, you have to pause. You must know how to pause. You must know how to pause. You must know how to rewind, etc., etc., etc. So I